Welcome back to our second tutorial, and this I hope is a very short tutorial, but before we get into the nuts and bolts of using R as a actual computer language and using objects and functions, I'd like to talk very quickly about computations with R. And so we can think about doing very basic arithmetic calculations, and I suspect that those are very straightforward. What might be slightly less familiar is also using logical operators to evaluate differences in expressions as well, and that sort of goes into the category of computations. All right. So the basic, there are basic set of arithmetic symbols, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. There are some functions such as sum and square root that are common. Another common operator is this little hat, which means raise something to the power. We might occasionally use log. So log is a function. The first number is the number. The second number is the base. And notice that the default base is base e. All right, so for example, 5 times 3, 10 divided by 2. We saw some of these examples in the previous tutorial, and I suspect that you're very familiar with these. A quick final note on calculations is that don't forget that brackets can be used to group a series of numbers. So for example, if we want to take the sum of 1 plus 3 before multiplying by 5, we can use the brackets. So I suspect that these are familiar enough for you that I won't actually do a quick demonstration, but try these very quick practice questions and make sure that you can do them. And so I'll pause here for a minute and show you how you might do them when we return shortly. All right, hopefully these have been straightforward, but I'll very quickly go over the possible, or go over the way we might do these. So if we come over here to R, I'm again in a document window over here, and this is the document window that we opened in the last tutorial. So the first thing that we wanted to do is take 7 to the 4th power, so 7, little hat to the 4th power, we run it, and 7 to the 4th power is 2,401, and we see that in the console window. If we want to take an average of numbers, all right, so 4, 3, 9, and 5. Without using another function like mean, here's how we would do that. So we'd use our brackets, so we'd have 4 plus 3 plus 9 plus 5, close the brackets, and then we want the average, so we want to divide by 4. So notice we can string together a series of arithmetic computations there, and so oops, we should get, oh, yep, there we go, there's our answer, 5.25. That's our average. All right, and finally, if we want to take log of 25, base 5, we can do log over here, 25, and then our base is 5, so we run this, and there we go, log 25, base 5 is 2. All right, hopefully this was a very straightforward set of practice problems. All right, third slide. And now we're moving on to logical operators. And these are the common sets of logical operators. So this first one is equal to. Notice that it's 2 equal signs as opposed to just 1. That's very important if we want to see if 2 things are equal to each other. Greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and the last one over here is or. So if you type an expression like this into the console of R, 4 double equals 6, we're asking R, is 4 equal to 6? And so when we press return, it will say, no, that's false. However, if we say 4 greater than 2 and press return, it'll say, yeah, that's true. So here's what it would look like very quickly. If we come over here and do 4 equals 6, and run it, you see that our output is false in the console. Or if we say 4 greater than 2 and run it, our output in the console is true because that's correct. All right. So just one very quick practice problem over here. Using logical operators, figure out true or false, is the square root of 3.5 greater than 1.9? So I'll pause for a second, and then we'll give this a look. Okay, here's how we would do it. We would want to, first of all, take the square root of 3.5, so s QRT is a function of 3.5, and we're asking, is it greater than 1.9? So let's see what R says. R says false. All right, there we go. Now, if you wanted to actually figure out what the square root of 3.5 is without retyping anything, here's a neat thing you can do with our document window. Just highlight the very specific portion of the code that you want to run and run it. And the square root of 3.5 is 1.87, which of course is not greater than 1.9. All right. So this was a very short tutorial. Here are the basic key skills. So perform basic arithmetic calculations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also some of these other things like raising to the power, logs, square roots, etc. Know the logical operators for equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and or. All right, very good. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. And on to the third tutorial.